All right, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Check this out. It has to do with Al Roker. But before I do that, I want you to notice something. Now, this is the second time in their whole production that they came out with a news story saying that the news person was missing. Remember, I just did a story on that. They said they're missing. They said this about Al Roker, but he's not really missing. Then they go into detail in it, saying, oh, he teased retirement. And as well as teasing retirement, he says that his other fill-in stepped in and, oh, they announced it in the middle of the show. They're trying to find out a way to make you watch. And there's a reason to that, but we'll get to that on another story when they're really honest, because they're not honest. These dudes ain't honest. There's no honesty in what we're watching in the media. The news is lies. Listen to me. 1 John chapter 4:18, Luke chapter 12, verse 5. Listen to me. This has to do with fear, because what they're saying to the people is fear not. Listen to me. Let's first talk about the first one. First thing is love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment, which goes into Luke 12:5. I'm telling you, it all connects. Fear hath torment, because when you're fearful, you're in torment. It's supposed to be making you in hysteria at all times. But that's what I'm saying. They're telling the audience, fear not. Nobody's in fear because Al Roker didn't show up. I want you to remember this too. Al Roker also is the dude who was freezing on the news. He kept freezing in place like a mannequin, and they couldn't figure out why. They kept doing things to freeze him, like he was under some MK Ultra. That's something else. Trust me, there's a story we're going to do on that coming. I'm telling you, these dudes are wicked. The news is wicked. Now, the people writing it, I believe they're part of it. But the people that are in these stories are wicked. Al Roker's not a savory person, trust me. Because if he was, he wouldn't be in the news like this. Being missing, teasing, oh, fear not. Oh, the dude filling in. Now, let's get deeper on this. Now, when we get into 1 John chapter 4, verse 18, understand, love is something that a person has to have. You can't have a hardened heart and have love. If your heart's hardened, you don't have love. Therefore, you're in danger with God, because his love is withdrawn, because he does not have respect to person. Remember this, because if you have a hardened heart, that means you're displaying some type of anger or hatred towards someone. And if you're doing that, he's going to hold you accountable. You don't play with God. Now, when we get to Luke 12:5, it gets deeper, because it says love casteth out the fear. You get rid of the fear with the love. And when you do that, that allows God to come into your heart and unharden your heart and start to give you the desires of your heart. That's why you got to unharden your heart, and you don't judge others wickedly. You righteously judge them. You don't judge them. Because remember, if you judge, God judges you, period. He just judges you. Oh, you did wrong there. Oh, you did bad there. Oh, you're wrong there. Righteousness is what you want to be judged in. Oh, that was savory, you did that. Oh, you could have did this different. Understand, when God is done correcting you, he's done with you, period. You never want to feel like something's not wrong. You know how you do a bad thing and you don't feel bad about it? That's terrible. Anybody at that level, it's over for you. You're done, because that means God's done convicting you of the evils you do. That's why you got to learn to find God and seek him out in honesty and truth. You got to be real with God. God's real with you. That's the thing. A lot of people ain't real with God, so God can't be real with you. Matter of fact, you're not even real with yourself. A lot of people take wickedness and make it into a place like, oh, I got to do this because it was my right to do that. Even though it's a sin, even though it was wrong for them to do it, especially when they're violating another person. Now, here's my thing about Al Roker. Yes, you're the weatherman, but do you know whether or not you believe in Christ? You're a weatherman, but do you know whether or not you believe in Christ? Because I'm confused. Just last year, you kept getting, I'm not going to do the emotion because I don't want you to go into it when you're watching. They do a clap and he go into a freezing position. He be freezing with his mouth open. It was really weird. And again, those have implications of MK Ultra. And again, a lot of my audience haven't went into detail on that. So that may be a newer term to you, but it's the same thing as somebody being, let's say, put under possession. Okay. It's no different than possession. That means that off of an active activity, you are now under control of a sound, of a movement, that you are literally a mannequin. You're like a clone. You're a freezing thing. They make you do what they want. And this is what I'm saying. That's black magic. That's witchcraft. Okay. And a lot of times when you're watching the news in places, they're doing witchcraft. Okay. When you go on CBS, what happens? What first pops up? Is it not an eye? Come on now. That stuff is witchcraft, it's symbology in order to control your subconscious. Understand how it's working. This stuff is deep and it's very wicked. It's pure evil because they're using symbols and signs, sounds to control man. Because the ultimate thing, they want to control another person. Why do we want to be controlled if God gives us free will? If God gives us free will, why would someone want to control us? Think about that. Because they want us to do their bidding. They want you to do something for them that benefits them, and it doesn't benefit God. You being under control of someone doesn't benefit God. You have to willingly submit to God. Willingly. You got to want it. You got to want to. Same thing as willingly seek God out. God ain't going to just hand you nothing. He wants you to willingly seek him. He looks at the mind and heart, not what you say, so he's going to know if you mean it. That way, you know you cannot mistake yourself to get into the kingdom of heaven. There's no mistake because you got to follow God's regimen. If you're not in tune with God, then you're in tune with something else. You don't want to put all your eggs in the basket of this world. See, what I don't understand, when you guys comment and stuff, think, why would I be going so hard about this stuff if I didn't care? Because this is your eternal soul. Do you understand that? I'm speaking and fighting for your eternal soul. If I'm fighting for it, why are you fighting me and not fighting the powers trying to control your soul, trying to do witchcraft on your soul? You still don't get it? Yo, these dudes don't get it. They don't get it. That's why they're in the comments talking. They don't get it. You got to seek out God. Start reading in 1 John chapter 4:18. Again, check out Luke 12:5. Again, you guys got to read. I'm telling you, it begins to open your eyes and you're like, oh, wow. It begins to make you see what's going on. Because in this article, they're saying, fear not. Everybody, who's in fear? Who's in fear? Because Al Roker didn't show up. I'm so scared. Stop playing with us. All glory be to the Most High God, Jesus Christ. All rights reserved. Period.